Hi guys, it's Bill, and I was having nightmares about my childhood. No, just kidding. But I'm sure you all agree, if you're over the age of, I don't know, 40 maybe, that after ham dinner, you know, like for the holidays, you know, you grind the ham up, put some Miracle Whip and some sweet pickle relish in and call it a day. And I was like, you know, I really can't wrap my brain around that, so I want to do something a little bit different. So I'm really changing it up after giving a lot of thought by using pulled pork, because I always have like pulled pork everywhere. I love cooking them. Plus it's been really cold out and that warms up the house, right? So how you start with it is, I took it out of the fridge, stuck it on a cookie sheet in the oven just to melt some of that excess fat out of it. Because I remember all those days of cutting up the ham. I want to say, get all the fat out, get all of you. Okay, so I got pretty good at that. So you want to see what you want to cut against the grain. So it's not all stringy. In fact, I was going to do this in a food processor, and I'm like, let's have me clean the food processor where I can actually cut this stuff up in the same amount of time. If you want to try a food processor, be my guest. But either way, you want to make sure that we don't want chunks. So if you just kind of take 2 forks and kind of and I just want to, and I cut it up pretty good, so this is going to be real successful here. And just kind of shred it up. Yeah. And we will, and you could do this all day long if you want, but I think as we mix it, we're also going to kind of break it down. So I just want to make sure any pieces that also gives you a better visual, right? So this is about 6 ounces of pork, and I say about because I didn't tear the weight of the tin foil before I weighed it, so it's pretty close. And that looks really perfect to me, so it should to you. And if not, you can leave comments below. No, disregard if it's necessary. All right, so what am I going to put in here? Well, first of all, you got to have onion, right? I mean, to me, that's necessary. So I had some red onion, and I only want to put about 1/4 cup. I probably cut up a 1/2 cup because that's what was left over. And I want to do equal on some celery. And so, you know, you want to cut the celery with the grain into little pieces and then cross-cut across the grain. So you really end up with some pretty small stuff. As you remember, the thing I don't like is that the sweet pickle relish that everyone uses, like, it's really too fine. I want some crunch, because you want to offset the consistency of the meat. So if you were to use ham, you could do it the exact same way. I also want some dill pickles, because I want that flavor of dill. And everything's in kind of equal portions, right? And I love the dill pickle part, not the sweet pickle part. I think I need just a little more of this, celery, probably just a hair more. There we go, that looks good. All right, so what else do I have? Well, I happen to have a shallot, and you could use green onion, you could use shallots, but I thought the green onion, the problem is you can cut it, when you slice it, you're going to get all these little rings in here, and I was like, so maybe, and I've just really been fascinated lately with shallots and put them in a bunch of stuff. So we don't want nearly as much. because it's a little overpowering. So about half as much as everything else. So if we're thinking about half a cup of everything, a quarter cup, maybe a little less. Last but not least, because it's me, I had some pickled jalapenos left over. So I'm just going to put just a tease in here until I taste it. So good heaping tablespoon, right? So one of the things you might have noticed is that I do different is I want to get all these kind of ingredients mixed up before I put the mayonnaise in. The mayonnaise is just a binder, so we're trying to use as little as possible, right? So I'm going to take some good deli style mustard and not kill it, but that's a good rounded tablespoon. I do want to get some black pepper in here because I think the pork really needs it. Now, when I cook my pork shoulders, pork butt, whatever you want to call it, I do season it really well. You know, it gets a good rub. So you've got a lot of flavor in the pork. So we really don't need to drown that. So now what I need to do, and just as a reminder, use your silicone pad, because isn't that nice? All right, so I just want to mix this all up, get kind of a visual on it, make sure all the portions look good. Oh yeah, this looks really good. And like I said, you know, I really like all kind of that veggie stuff in here, all the crunchy stuff. The pork adds a lot of flavor to it. Oh yeah. So I want to get that mustard and that pepper and everything else really mixed. And you know, using a spatula is kind of cool because if you find a piece of pork that's a little too big, you can kind of whack it up with your spatula. And that's like perfect. All right. So what am I going to do? Got my mayonnaise. We're going to start off real easy, big heaping spoonful. I know that's not going to be enough, so I'm probably going to put just a little more in there. And you'll think I'm funny. I don't like squeeze. I don't know what the difference is, but I don't use it. And I can use the top as the spoon rest, right? All right, so let's try this. So this is going to be done two ways. I made some, because it's so cold, it was actually like 40 degrees out this morning, 44. And tonight I'm having some soup that I made the other day. Had some leftover, thank goodness. And so I'm going to just serve this up with some Triscuits, so kind of make a dip out of it. I just thought that would be kind of fun. And I need lunch for tomorrow, so I'll make a sandwich for me to take to lunch. Like I said, get everything incorporated, remember. And we're just going to kind of eyeball it. Got some dry stuff on the bottom, but as you can see, very little mayonnaise in here. And I like mayonnaise, don't get me wrong, but we just don't want to kill it, right? So I'm just going to take just a little bit more to hit some of the dry spots. I know that's going to be enough. All right. Believe it or not, this should be a success. I got everything in here I want. All right. So what do I need to do now? This is really simple. Now, we need to just get a little pinch. So, we have so much going on here, so many textures. the pork, and thank goodness I cut it really small. I got a little celery, I got a little pickle, no jalapeno. I was kind of bracing for it, but yeah, this is pretty darn good. So like I said, so how am I going to do this tonight? So I'm going to take a little bowl here. Just get some in the bowl. And this is one of those things that'll be real happy after being in the fridge for a while, right? Let's just see. Probably need a fork for it because it is kind of thick. I thought Triscuits were a good choice. The crunchiness of the cracker, especially the Triscuit, really adds a lot to that texture. I just think it's a home run. I wish I'd made this before. I wish I'd thought about this before. It takes me forever sometimes to come up with really good ideas. All I can say, I hope you try it. Honestly, I think you'll be impressed. And like I said, it would make a great sandwich. Put it on a hamburger bun, put it on a piece of bread, whatever you want. You're gonna have a good sandwich. I just love all the flavors going on here. And believe it or not, one of the things that's really great about the Triscuit is, I hate saying this because, you know, I'm a big salt fan, but the salt really brings that all together. And I don't want to put salt in here because I think it'll kind of destroy it, but let me tell you, this is great. So, bottom line, thank you. And whichever one of you dropped off the radar, I lost a subscriber. I'm looking right at you. Just kidding. Probably because, like, YouTube dropped them off and they don't even know it yet. But, hope you have a great day. Hope you try some of my recipes, have a good time, and I will come up with another recipe that you're absolutely going to love next time. Have a great day.